The components of MERP it's an all or none. So everybody in your bargaining unit has to participate, and you all have to participate at the same rate. And I understand there's some other locals here as well, and I'll touch on what your contribution amounts are as well. And then, I left my postcard back there, but all of you should have gotten a big postcard in the mail from starting in November all the way to about 2 weeks ago, and Becky has one, right? It looks like that, yep. So you're able to log on to this website now and look at all the information pertaining to MERP, and then I'll show a couple of slides later about the actual website. So you have reimbursable expenses that you can submit once you retire, and the duration of your benefits. And 2 years ago, we put in some different options for retirees, and we'll touch on those as well. And please ask questions throughout the slideshow. So you're reimbursed for your lifetime. Premiums can be used, your expenses can be used for medical, dental, vision, long-term care, and your spouse and dependent children up to 26. And so you would want to submit all of your information. What we do is they touched on having the deduction come out of your DRS for your premiums. And you can submit your pay stub once a year to show what your new rate is, and you don't have to do anything for the rest of the year. So his question was to submit your pay stub for just that one time for the year. So when you get it in January, because typically that's when your premiums always increase, is January, you would submit that invoice or the copy of your pay stub in January, and we will pay your benefit for those 12 months. And then every January you would submit a new one. And throughout the year you can still submit receipts for co-pays or deductibles, because this is a use it or lose it. So you want to use this benefit first before you touch on your VEBA or other benefits available to you. Okay. So for each $25 that you contribute, you get what's called a service unit. So if you contribute $100 a month, you would get 4 service units. You guys are actually, Puget Sound Fire is at $75. And you've been in the MERP plan since January 1 of 2005. Tukwila, I understand, is here. You've been in the plan since July 1, 2009, and your contribution is $75 a month as well. Valley Regional started January 1 of 2010, and you're at $75. And then SeaTac Fire merged into Kent, now Puget Sound, January 1 of 14, but they initially started at $75 in 2003. You increased to $150 January of 2012. You had 1 month of $225 for December of 2013, and then when you merged with Puget Sound, you went back down to $75. This is just some examples of your $75 and what your benefit would be in 5 years, 10 years, and 15 years. And then I just kind of threw out there for fun, if you were at $100 since day one, your benefit would be $295.20 for 15 years. And this is all pre-tax contributions going in and pre-tax going out. And currently the unit multiplier is 41 cents. It was down to 39 a couple of years ago, and it did increase to the 41 cents. So as I mentioned earlier, the board did put in some new benefit options for you. So I just kind of did age 55 at 5 years. You would have, at the lifetime constant benefit level, you would get $73.80 a month. If you did option 2, pre-65, you'd get $85.82, and once you turn 65, that would reduce to $57.21. And then I have option 3 and option 4 up there as well. So you also, based on your bargaining agreement, would have the option of leave conversion if that's in your agreement. And so I just have an example here. If you had $15,000 of either vacation or sick leave conversion, and you retired at age 55, the actuarial study has a calculation based on your age. So at age 55, you would have 6146 for each ASU, which would give you 239 service units. And that would give you another $100 a month on top of the other benefits that I just showed you if you had leave conversion. And it is based on your age, so each year it would fluctuate. And I just have a short conversion table up here. It's longer, there's younger and older, but this is kind of a snapshot since you can retire at 53. So as I said earlier, you all should have received this postcard. If you haven't, I'll just kind of go over the steps that you need to do to log on to the MERP website. So when you go to log in, and I can give you I should have put the website up there. You're going to enter your first name, your last name, your full social security number, but only the last 4 will show on the screen, your date of birth, and a valid email address. And as long as we get a hit on everything but your email address, you will get an email sent to you that will have you sign in and set up a username and password. So you'll want to check your junk or spam folder within an hour or so after logging into the website. So one of the things that we were excited to roll out was the benefit estimator, the calculator. So you can take your own personal information now, and it will tell you what your benefits will be for all the different options. And then you can also plug in a future date of retirement. Of course, it's only going to use what your contribution rate is now, not if you should increase it. So if you went up to $100 a month, it's not going to reflect that. One of the things we are working on is a way for you to do that. If our group increased our contribution, what would my amount be at a future time? So Ray asked about how you know when to access this benefit. So what happens is your employer will notify us of your retirement date. And at that time, we will put together a packet for you that lists COBRA options. If you haven't been in the plan for 5 years, you do have the option to pay COBRA under MERP to get to that 5-year lifetime benefit. It'll also give you the different benefit options and what your amount would be. You also have the option of what's called delayed commencement, where if, let's say, your spouse is employed and she has free benefits for you and your family and you don't need your benefit, you can do what's called delayed commencement for a total of 12 months, and you would get ASUs put into your bucket to increase your amount once you start collecting your lifetime benefit. And you can do that every year, and it has to be in 12-month chunks. So if you say, well, I don't really need the benefit now, and 6 months later you decide you want it, you wouldn't get any of that additional service units. Once you get the packet, you need to pick your benefit, and like Becky said, what you pick, that's what you're locked into. So you really want to be careful when you send that in. If we don't hear from you in 60 days, we automatically put you into delayed commencement status until you reach out to us and tell us you want to start collecting your benefit. So Carrie asked about the MERP packet. So we automatically, because we do the packet, have to include their rights of COBRA under the MERP plan. Yes. Yes, and COBRA is only good for 18 months, you would be contributing it as post-tax contributions, but it does give you that lifetime benefit. So if you have more than 18 months, you would want to look and weigh out, if you paid in your $75 a month for 18 months, what your benefit would be going forward. So Puget Sound Regional Fire Authority has hired Benefit Solutions a few years ago to do the COBRA administration. So when you do retire, you will be sent a COBRA packet. Carrie will notify us, and we'll send you a COBRA packet that gives you your rates for your medical, your dental, and your vision. And then you would send your premiums to us. We track that, and then we turn around and send information to Carrie to notify your carriers for the dental and vision. Currently, your COBRA will be in, the medical part would be under the Northwest Firefighters Benefits Trust, which Becky's going to discuss with regards to your medical plans. And of course, COBRA is good for up to 18 months, and then we do have retiree benefit options after that. So, any questions for me?